Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and welcome to the show, y'all. Listen, Max C has done something that if most gangsters knew about it, they wouldn't approve at all. He puts an incompatible against somebody that he was victimizing, that decided that they were not going to take it anymore, so they ended up sticking him. That's how the individuals solve their problems in prison. You feel me? Sad situation, because most of the things that we do in here are symptoms of the problems that we have. We're limited to the options that would help solve problems in a constructive way because of the environment that we're in. So this new buddy did something that cost him his sanity. He separated from the compound. And let me tell you something. I spent 3.5 years on maximum security, 23 and 1. Locked down. After the first year, they let me come out to work, but I couldn't leave the building. I got chains on. I got shackles on. Walking around. Shuffling around. I wasn't walking. I was shuffling around. Doing the job that they assigned me. But I couldn't leave the building. And my world became real small. And it'll do something to you. And it did something to this new buddy. It broke him. It broke him. Here he is. He comes into prison with a small sentence, hoping to just be able to do his time, pay his debt to society, and then go home. But no. He became the prey to a predator that wanted money, that was trying to survive himself. Yeah, he had problems too. The way he got down was symptoms of a bigger problem that he had going on too. But he ended up running into that butcher knife. And now, both of them are having to deal with trauma in a different way. Max C is dealing with trying to keep a secret, pretending to still be tough, still a part of the organization, but he know he has his fear that's resting in him. He can't rest. He can't keep his head off the swivel. He's looking over his shoulder at all time. He's trying to see who's the new people coming to the prison and all this and that. He's trying to find out, is the letter going to be written that tells everybody what he did? Because when the new buddy was put on protective custody in the hole and then in the mental health ward, he was told that he was being put in the back because an incompatible had been placed against him. And he was not sure, Max C was not sure if and when people were going to find out about that, because that would be detrimental to him. And then the new buddy was dealing with his own trauma, separated from his family, not able to see his family, on medication. He didn't come here on meds. Now he's on medication just so he can sleep at night. Over and over, he would see that butcher knife going in and out of the flesh of Max C. Over and over, he would hear the way that the opposition, his seller, described to him how he should do it. Over and over, he couldn't get those words, those thoughts, those images out of his head. And it broke him. Now the op, he was writing him, and he was telling him how proud he was of him. How he, no matter what happened, when he gets out, he was going to become a part of their family with open arms. Everybody was waiting. And he would be protected. See, this is how we're confronted with solutions to deal with our problems. It's all twisted. It's all twisted. So time goes by. And the new buddy is not a new buddy anymore. He's going through the mental health program. And he's trying and he's learning these coping skills and all of these different things that he needs to do. And he decides that he wants to reach out to Max C. So he finds out who Max C is, and real name, government name, and where he's at. And he writes him a letter. But see, he can't write Max C directly. He can't write him direct, so he uses the name of another inmate to get the letter to him, and he writes Max C, and he tells Max C he's sorry for what he did. And if he ever gets the opportunity, he wants to thank him personally. Now see, Max C, paranoid, just tripping, because this man tried to take his life, but he's not accounting for his role in it. He panics, and he takes the letter to the administration. And he tells them that he spooked. Now they read the letter, and the letter's really an apology letter. But see, they see it different. They see it different. See, they want to know how he got the letter to him. Is he being, you know what I'm saying, coded in what he's saying about, I want to thank you personally? Is he really telling him I'm going to finish the job? What is he saying? So they contact the other prison where the new buddy is, and they have the people at that prison go talk to him to find out what's going on and to tell him don't write no more letters. And this further causes him to be traumatized because he's trying to do the right thing, but Max C, he don't see that because he's spooked. He's spooked. So this causes the new buddy to have a setback. And now he's spinning out of control. He's spiraling. He wants to do the right thing, but they won't let him. They won't let him. He don't understand. So when his parents come to visit him, he's telling them what he's trying to do, and they tell him, look, just wait until you get out. See, he didn't have but a couple of more years. He didn't have but a couple of more years, 3, 4 at the most, until he gets out. They was telling him, wait, and then we'll figure out a way to contact him when you get out. But don't do anything that's going to make it worse for you right now. His mom is crying, pleading with him. Just lay down. Get better. Come home. And he assures her that that's what he wants to do, but this medicine has got him spinning. He's spinning out of control. But see, Max C, he tripping because now the word done got out that the new buddy wrote him a letter. He took it to the administration. So now Max C, he's being labeled as a rat. You ain't straight. Why would you do that? And they asked him what the letter said. He was honest and he told them what the letter said. And the letter was like, dude, want to apologize. Why would you not do that? And then they looking at him like, wait a minute, when did you put the incompatible on him? And he tells them. And now they looking at him with the cross-eye, y'all. They looking at him with the cross-eye. And he don't understand what to do now because his options are limited. Do you go to the administration? No. Or do you deal with what it is that's coming? Because it's coming. It's coming. These folks is looking at you like a rat. You working with the administration when you do things like that. That's how they see it. It's all twisted. I done told you that. It's all twisted. Twisted, I'm telling you. So now, Max C's paranoia elevates. And he has a mental break. See how this thing playing out? And he ends up at the same mental health prison that the new buddy's at, but in a different building. And they know that they have an incompatible against him, so they keep them separate. But Max C, he recovers quicker. He recovers quicker. And they get him out on the compound quicker to help him so he can advance and go get better and go back to where he came from. But the new buddy, the peon, finds out that Max C's there in a mental health program. And he tries to reach out through word of mouth. He don't dare write anything down again, but he tries to reach out through word of mouth and say, man, I'm sorry. Could you take the incompatible off of me? I'm not going to do anything. So Max C, he reaches back and tells him, he said, man, I trust what you're saying, but I don't. I believe that you're sorry, but I don't care. I'm scared. I don't want to do that, and then you get out here and you do something else to me. Now, keep in mind what I'm talking about here. We're talking about a gangster versus a peon. This lifestyle that Max C chose is one of violence, deception, manipulation. But see, he's sounding like he's not a gangster. He's sounding like this stabbing has snapped him back to reality, that everybody is vulnerable to the same things. So we should treat each other with the respect and dignity that we all deserve. See, that's the trick. He's starting to understand all of that. But it's this fear that won't leave him. It's hanging on tight. It's squeezing him. It's squeezing the life out of him because he's afraid to live. He's afraid to forgive. He tries to understand what's going on with him, but he can't get past the fear. That feeling of that knife going in and out of him, his lungs collapsing, and him laying on that cold concrete floor, heaving in and out, not knowing if he's going to make it. And when his eyes shut, he thought he was gone. He can't get over that. So now he can't forgive the person that caused that because he's afraid that he might do it again. I imagine that's what a lot of victims feel like. So I get it. And I fully understand that now. And we need to understand that fear. We need to respect the pain that we've caused people and respect that some people may never get to the point to where they feel safe around you again. But you got to move on with your life. You got to move on with your life. And that's what the new buddy was coming to understand. He was coming to understand and accept that he may never be forgiven for what he had done. But he was genuinely remorseful for what he had done. And he had to move on with his life. So he continued to improve and go through the mental health program, and he got better and better and better. And he asked him one day, when will I be released back to the compound? And they had a long talk with him about that, and they told him, he said, we think it's best that you stay in the mental health program until you get out. We don't want you to have another mental break, they told him. And he was understanding what they were saying, but he was okay, he was better. He understood that. But see, it was another agenda at play here. It was another agenda at play. See, when you're in a program like that, they make sure to keep up with everything that's going on with you. So they had been monitoring and reading his mail. And they do that because they don't want you to get any mail that can cause a setback for you. You understand what I'm saying? So they knew that the one that had encouraged him to do all of these things had been reaching out to him and wanted him to get out so he could become a member of that organization. And they wanted to protect him from that, but they didn't tell him that. All they told him is that they wanted to keep him in the area that he was in until he was released from prison. And once he was released from prison, then he can decide what he wants to do with his own life. But while he was in their custody, they wanted to do what they felt was best to protect him from the lifestyle that would have led him down a road that would probably lead to him having another mental break and possibly doing something even worse. Because the reputation that he had gotten out of that one incident when he stabbed Maxie was that he's the real deal. And when I say the real deal, what I mean in street vernacular, in the street terms, in the code that we live by, he's a killer. It's in him. And see, this op wanted to nurture that all the way up out of him so that he could use that to his benefit. He's a heavy hitter. He don't play. And the op knew it. He saw it. He pulled it out of him. And he wanted to manipulate that. He wanted to use that to his own benefit. He didn't care nothing about the new buddy. He saw what he was capable of because he did it. See, a lot of people in here talk about what they'll do. Very few actually do it. I'm talking about to that level. Yeah, you see some fights, but sticking? Man, look at it. That's next level, man. That's next level. And ain't nobody playing when it comes down to that. Ain't nobody playing because you, like I said, you can't hit a button and then start life all over, y'all. This is not a video game. It's not a video game. And all the different pieces of the puzzle when it comes to this gang lifestyle and all this and that, and the pieces moving on the board, you have no idea. You have no idea how detrimental it will be to you. But it will be detrimental to you. So the new buddy he settled on the fact that he was going to stay there. And the mental health people, they had talked to his parents and told them the truth about why they didn't want to release him and all this and that, because they wanted this to be a group effort in convincing him to stay and to continue to encourage him that he's doing a great thing, staying in the program, so that when he gets out, he can be productive in whatever way he can be, in a positive way, and contribute to his neighborhood, his community, his society. You understand? They wanted that for him. They wanted that for him. And his parents were all on board. They were with it all the way. They just wanted him to be safe. They wanted him to not be put around the type of people that would manipulate and use him, like the op did, like Maxie did. Because they turned this boy into a monster just to protect himself, to protect his family. He became the boogeyman. But it cost him. And now Maxie, he's struggling with his own mental health issues. This is not a game. This is not a game. You shouldn't want to do this stuff for fun. People do this stuff to survive, but it costs them their sanity. Because that's what it'll cost you. It'll cost you your sanity. Everything that you think you are, everything that you want to be, you toss that in the trash. This is not what you want. Not this lifestyle. It's garbage. And anybody that tells you otherwise, let me tell you something. They're sick. They're suffering from trauma and pain, and they just want some company. They want some company. They're not bad people. They're just giving in to it. They may not even know how sick they are. But what you have to do, what you have to know, is that you don't have to do this. You don't have to be like this. You don't have to. Just like they don't. Just like we don't. Me, I chose to make some stupid decisions. And look what it cost my victims, my family, my community. The people that had to sit on my jury, the judge and the DA, my lawyer, all of these people that were involved in what was going on with me, look what it cost them. The trauma that got attached to them. See, I think about that. I think about that a lot. Look what it cost me. I thought I was doing the right thing, but I knew it was the wrong thing. See, you got to understand that stuff, that life, there's nothing right about it. The people that are sick and are trapped in it, they want you to believe that something's good about it because they want to be seen as good people. But you will not be seen as good people doing bad things. I don't care what anybody tells you. So don't fool yourself. Don't be like me and the millions of other people that fell for that trick. You don't have to fall for that trick. You can do and be anything you want to be. So the new buddy ends up getting out of prison and goes on and does amazing things. And he talks about what he'd been through. Now, Maxie, he's trapped in here. The number of years that he has to serve, he's going to be here for a long time. But now he has other issues to worry about. And he's getting better, but he has his moments. But see, we have to suffer the realities of the consequences that come to fruition from the decisions that we make. And that's where he's at, dealing with it. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.
I'm getting so